Hello, and thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to join me today. I hope that there's something in here that is a benefit to you or to somebody that you know. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the plus button. It does help promote my videos. Interesting enough, I'll get into that. You can also find us on Locals, Rumble, and Odyssey. If you wish, you can go ahead and support us on those three platforms as well. You can also find us on Minds and Gettr, where we will also post links to the videos that we make. I wanted to say my most recent video about the White House social media, and DHS. Interestingly enough, even for a small channel like mine that would easily, as reported in that, just be nuked by the White House if I say something or they disapprove of. Interesting enough, with my YouTube channel, I saw the impressions go down on that particular video till after the election, and now it's had a lot of new additional views, for which, again, I'm very thankful for. Now, I know a lot of people in this most recent election were expecting a red wave. The one thing I'm going to complain about most is the fact that you have the politicians, and I heard it not just from our local politicians, but other states as well, saying, well, you won't make a good politician because you don't know the roundhouse. And I think to myself, well, that's not how our founding fathers initially meant for the government to be. The government was that anybody could come in, anybody could take the job, and anybody could do it. Fetterman is a perfect example of that. Talk about a man who doesn't technically qualify for the job because he's never been in the halls of Congress and wouldn't know how to navigate them properly. So how does that something apply to somebody like Fetterman, but not apply to other government, other people running for government? That statement, again, shows how convoluted and bureaucratic, even on a local level, our government has become, and it allows them to become more and more authoritarian. Now, I just watched a speech recently by Biden where he's saying, oh, he takes this as a great affirmation for him. Well, while the House was at a the Senate was at a slender majority, the House, we appear to have actually gained a majority. Nancy Pelosi is out of a job. This is a huge shift. One of the top three people is no longer blue. They are now supposed to be a Republican. Let's see if they're a Republican in name only, because that's another problem with the Republican Party, is we be putting up these people who still want to change our country to a more socialist type of country where the government has authority and only those who are quote unquote qualified can hold the position. Now, isn't that funny during this era of CRT that only qualified people should be politicians? Hold on, I'm getting somewhere with this. And yet, you can only be qualified if you've had years and years and years of experience in government. But the problem is the government right now. Currently, the national debt's about $30 trillion, which means every legal American who pays taxes currently owes $94,000 per person. That's your debt to the government. Let's see if that changes. Again, the House is actually, looks like, it's not a huge majority, but it is definitely more red. It is showing a shift that for the past 20 years has been deep blue, thanks to Barack Obama, a horrible, horrible president. But it's like, why Fetterman? Well, because for some reason they just didn't jive with Oz, which means the Republicans didn't put up a proper candidate to run against a man who had a stroke. Well, now suddenly we were hearing up until the election how our democracy was at threat, and suddenly now it's safe and secure and is no longer at threat. So I wanted to take a moment also to look at John C. Maxwell, has written a number of books on leadership, one of which, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. He goes over some really nice things to aspire to, the things we should look for in our leaders, like trust. Do you trust Biden? Do you currently trust the politicians that are in office? I know it's the midterms and most Americans don't vote, but that's when your governors come in, and these people are the little tyrants you need to watch as well. We've always needed to watch those little tyrants. We've always needed to watch those little tyrants versus the federal level, because we never had to worry about the federal level encroaching on a person's civil and personal liberties. Now, me, I'm not pleased about a governor being elected into office who supports the murdering of babies, who also believes I'm a non-essential person and therefore has the authority to decide who is essential and who is non-essential, who dictated lockdowns, who had me shut down my business within a month of first initially starting it. And yeah, this is not American, nor is it anywhere near what the Constitution actually allows for. But for some reason, he got reelected into office. Imagine that. So, yes, I live in a state that also believes in no cash bail. But if you want to work, you still have to get the shot. Oh, it's not mandated by government at the moment. It's still the corporations. But our governor isn't doing anything to stop that from going on. As a matter of fact, our governor still pushes the idea that our medical staff not only can you sue an individual doctor up to $6 million, which brings the price of their insurance skyrocketing, even when you go into a hospital to visit, you have to wear a face mask whether you have breathing issues or not. Oh, yeah, and she's really big on CRT. Now, part of being a Christian, as I understand it at least, is you're dedicating your life to a set of morals, which can be rather specific, but include things such as improving yourself. For we are all imperfect beings and apt to fall for the more base and fleshly desires that are here on earth. These same desires distract and stop us from the desire to improve, not just ourselves, but that which is around us, to leave it in a better state than when we came. An opinion I acquired from my days as a Boy Scout. Which means not just yourself, but those around you, the community, a desire to continue to improve it for the better for all. The problem is, when most people, well, when we all, obtain these baser desires, usually the flesh, but not limited to, the problem is they are easily obtained for low effort. It creates a false sense of fulfillment. But in most cases of satisfaction of these base desires, it is fleeting sense of fulfillment. I did not say accomplishment, as it is still leaves that as an open desire. Without a moral compass, you can become more than just metaphysically lost and wandering in the dark. The 7 deadly sins are a good example of the base animalistic desires of the flesh, but again, not limited to. So my question is this. Where in CRT, critical race theory, which is promoted by the White House, is the encouragement to better yourself? You spend a lot of time in CRT denying that you're a slave to your desires, your most base desires, because that's what it encourages. That which is easy to obtain, or if it was hard in the past, it is now easier because all you have to do is go my skin color or my sexual preference. And again, I don't care, just it should be kept in the bedroom. So when are you held accountable in the teachings of CRT for your actions? I don't see a whole lot of cases where in CRT you are held accountable for your actions. It's just simply, oh, give, give, give. Instead, what CRT does, it shifts the blame or accountability based solely on the color of your skin. There's no moral compass for it, for you to improve yourself, just simply to improve your position in living, desiring for the most base desires. This is why CRT is pretty much just that. It's critical race theory. It should remain there. To me, it seems like more lies, more words spoke from the devil to get people to believe it. Because again, it's based simply on how you were born, not on what you do. It's like saying that King Charles is a good king because simply he's white and a king. While I won't throw eggs at King Charles, I'm not a big fan of him. And I'm certainly not a fan of Biden, nor am I a fan of our local governor. Here's to hoping that things continue to improve and people start getting a sense of where they're at and where they're going and realize that fulfilling their base desires as we're currently doing is not, one, a Christian nation. Two, it's not going to leave us with a sense of fulfillment in the long run. Heck, it doesn't even leave most Americans with a sense of fulfillment now. Does this inflation currently give you a sense of fulfillment in your life? If it does, I'd be interested in hearing and, you leave me a comment. Other than that, I'm going to say thank you very much. I know most of them have been rather long lately, so I'm going to kind of keep this one short. I'm going to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to watch this. I hope that there's something in here that is of value to you or to somebody that you know. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. And as I said, you can support us over on Rumble and Locals. Thank you very much, and I hope you have yourself a beautiful day. United we stand, divided we fall. God bless you, and God bless America.